The Team Go Rocket leaders have now been put into the game for us to battle, and if you want to know what the process is for taking on these leaders and just how to find them in general in Pokemon Go, we're going to dive into that right now. This is my experience as I took on 6 Team Go Rocket grunts, and it led to a battle with Sierra, the Team Instinct Team Go Rocket leader counterpart, basically. After the first one went down, you see your team leader say this right here. The grunt dropped something while they were running scared. What are they using these for? I bet this is what Team Go Rocket is using to hack the Pokestops. Now we've got 1 out of 6 of these components right here. And so as I said, the process is that you literally do have to beat 6 individual Team Go Rocket grunts first, and each one of them will drop a mysterious component piece. As you see here on screen, I'm showing that process, but highly edited and sped up, because this did take a good hour or so just to find the hacked Pokestops and to beat the grunts and all of that stuff. Once all 6 are defeated, you can combine the mysterious components, and so it says it looks like these components all fit together. You combine them, you get a mysterious device. So then you advance it forward, and your team leader will come up with the dialogue that's on screen right here. So you can see Candela right now. She's saying, "Great work. Fighting all of those grunts was worth the effort." And she's saying that all of these components combine to make a rocket radar. Professor Willow said once it's equipped, you can intercept signals from Team Go Rocket. Finally, we can find those hideouts, and let's go take out these punks. Emphasis on the go. And so once I've clicked to activate it, it's actually over there on like the right side of the screen. I can sort of backtrack to show you. It basically brings up this view right here, and it looks like a high-tech kind of map view. And you can walk around and move while you're in this view, and the portrait of your trainer's head right there will move with your steps. But if you're using it for navigation at all, like I would say it's actually a little bit more difficult than the typical overworld map that we're all used to. Because, it looks like this. So now you're actually finally going to get to see the battle right here. We get out of that map view, and it's on this Pokestop. You could see Sierra was standing there right next to it, but here she is. How amusing. You dare challenge me? Yes, of course. So she says she never passes up an opportunity to show off on the battlefield. We're going to put that to the test, and so it's going to be a battle I'm sure you'll never forget, of course. What's interesting is I actually switched out of my phone during the battle. I was doing something else before I got involved in the fight, and my game actually reset, meaning like in the background it didn't really save my spot in there, and so I actually had to rejoin the battle and everything, but it looked almost like I was gonna go have to find a different Team Rocket hideout or base or whatever, because the map wasn't pulling anything up for me with the rocket radar. And that was not the case. If you just go to that same Pokestop that you already were at, like let's say your game crashes or something like that and you have to restart, just go back to that same exact one. Even if the rocket radar is saying that they are not on the map or anywhere nearby, they're still there, thank God. I did not use the fully optimized team, but I did a pretty good team, honestly, and it ended up being, good for these purposes. I think in general they kind of recommend you use Machamp, then Hariyama, then Metagross, and I did go with Machamp and Hariyama, but then my third one I went with a Rhyperior. I've got it pretty powered up and everything. Not that I didn't have Metagross, I guess, I didn't know at the time. I think her team is a little bit variable, she's always seemingly gonna put in Sneasel, I've heard. So that's going to be our first matchup, and this Sneasel can actually kind of make mincemeat quickly out of whatever you put in here, and so Machamp, you can see I'm kind of pretty low here. Gonna use a shield, obviously. We don't want to lose our Machamp, but you can also probably take out that Sneasel before actually having to do one of your charge moves. So that's I think the better maneuver here. I didn't know what she was putting out before I did this, so I actually probably would have gone with the Rock Slide. My Machamp knows 2 charge attacks. This is a 100% fully powered up too, so kind of interesting. It's they can still sort of make mincemeat of it, and so I'm gonna go with Rock Slide the second time because she did put out a Sableye right there for the battle as her second Pokemon, and so there we go. Excellent Rock Slide, and of course they are going to use Shield, so they will have 2 opportunities to block your shield, and they'll do it. Okay, so anyway, Hariyama would have worked okay, I'm sure, but I think the better choice obviously at this point was to go with Rhyperior right here. If you did go Metagross as your third one, go with your Metagross. And so I'm going to shield against the Shadow Sneak right there, and we're going to probably make the rest of this pretty easy, I would say. Saving the Stone Edge for the next one. When you're down, like, where you still have that much health or whatever, and the next one is down so low, you're in good shape for it. And so I've seen that people say that she would throw out a Gardevoir next, but she actually right here, you can see it's a Houndoom, and so that works really, really well for my lineup. So again, you would think, oh, my lineup maybe wasn't super optimized, but let's say I had chose Metagross right there. I kept this secret basically until this point that it actually would not have been good against the Houndoom if it had fire attacks. So anyway, she's like, I can't lose. What does this mean? But she did lose, and there's me with that pose. I cannot take that seriously at all. And so yes, Unova Stone is the reward that I've gotten, and I did actually fight Cliff as well. I had filmed this for this video and somehow lost that recording. I do not know. My phone was kind of crapping out a little bit at that moment, but I do not know how I lost. I had everything recorded up until that last battle with Cliff, and so it did give me a Meowth encounter against Cliff, and this one gave me a Sneasel. Now these do have the opportunity to be shiny, so whatever you catch from these team leaders could actually be shadow and shiny at the same time, which would be a treat, of course. And so I got the Sneasel and I got a Meowth earlier, but I got a Unova Stone out of both of those encounters, so good stuff, right? I think it's well worth it, but I hope that this helped you guys. Enjoy, take on Team Go Rocket yourself, and I'll catch you on the next vid, and thanks for viewing.